Hi, Annie. How are you?
Hey, Mama B. Ah.
So good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Annie, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. I know it is weird to not be in the same room together and not in the same building together, but with COVID-19, it's just a Zoom kind of world. So thank you for doing this with us.
Well, absolutely. Everything's on Zoom, so this is what it is. I'm
Yeah.
glad we have it. Otherwise, can you imagine? I'm able to see somebody, but I don't care. I can talk to you on the phone. Just let me talk to you. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. I mean, there's still ways that we can connect, and of course
hmm
it's different, but there's definitely still connection. And so, again, thank you for doing this for us. I'm so excited. You are sunshine at WISEPlace, and
Oh, thank you.
I know for me, kind of being a newer staff member when I first got there, just meeting you, you really were sunshine in my day every day, and I just looked forward to seeing you. And so I'm happy that our WISEPlace family and our volunteers and our donors and supporters get to hear from you and just get to share. They get to hear some of your experiences at WISEPlace. So we're just going to go for it. We're not a professional camera team, but
hmm
this is the way of the world. So we're just going to get into it. And thank you.
You're welcome. I'm honored. Thank you. hmm
So Annie, can you share with us, like, everybody's journey is so different. And,
hmm
we have the honor and privilege of meeting so many different women with so many different experiences at WISEPlace because, um, life is different for people. And so can you share with me, how did you find WISEPlace? What brought you to WISEPlace?
Well, actually, I found out about Wise Place 2 years before I actually got there. I was in an abusive marriage, and that was just to my breaking point. I left my husband. I left my husband just thinking that I would have somewhere to go pretty easy. I had talked to my sister-in-law who's in the field. She told me about 211 because I didn't even know about 211 because I'm a teacher. I'm a retired teacher now. I'm disabled now. Um, and so um, calling 211, I got different leads, and when they couldn't help me, they gave me other referrals. And so I don't know, after about 20 phone calls, I found out about Wise Place. And at that time, it was being processed, and because I was disabled and I could not work, I qualified for the program for that. But because I didn't have in place the financial income that was necessary, I was not able to be admitted into the program. So then that was me having to go back home. And my husband making the promises now that I've been educated through the agencies that I have been aligned with because of you all. I understand that whole process of that whole cycle and, wooing the victim back in and all that. And then within a matter of less than 2 years, it was pretty much back and beyond what it was 2 years prior. So at that point, it was so bad that I had to tell my husband that I was looking for a place to go. I was actually looking for a room to rent. And he just took it upon himself to just change the locks on me one night without telling me. He knew I didn't have anywhere to go. He knew I didn't have any money. And he locked me out. And so because of that, so I came to Wise Place because I already knew about it from 2 years prior. And so when I had my interview, I didn't know what that was going to look like, but I had the interview, and there was one ABA room and one bed that was just for me. And the rest is history. Yeah. Hallelujah.
So Annie, that's really powerful because domestic violence last year in 2019, over half, 58% of the women that we served um, were like you. They left an abusive partner. And they came to WISEPlace. And then in Orange County, right here in our backyard, domestic violence in terms of women experiencing homelessness, it's the second reason why women experience homelessness. So it's not all these other things that are myths out there. Domestic violence and abusive partnerships are very real in our county and across the nation, and specifically to women experiencing homelessness. So I know that's hard, and I thank you for sharing that, because there are so many women out there, unfortunately, experiencing homelessness. And so through you and your journey, they'll know that they are not alone. And it's so powerful to hear you say, when you were struggling and feeling unsafe, that you sought out WISEPlace 2 years earlier, but when you were kind of ready to leave,
I
ready
was
to
forced
start.
to leave. I wasn't ready to leave. Nothing was in place. And my husband knew that.
Mm,
And it was pretty amazing when I got there. I mean, I had no idea. I mean, I've heard statistics for homelessness, but I had no idea the magnitude of homelessness for senior citizens. We're
mhm.
on a fixed income that doesn't increase, even if rents increase. And I was just introduced to the realities of what I did not even know was going on. And I was so, I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I've never been homeless. Well, no, I can't say that, numerous times because of this whole thing here and there. But I mean, I was never homeless at 60, you know. And then just to hear the stories of the women there. I mean, I remember one lady that she was in a car accident with her husband and he was killed in the car accident. She lived in another state and had to come out here to be with family, and they didn't have anywhere to house her. And I mean, people are homeless for all different reasons. People losing spouses, people losing their place of residence because rents are going up and the salaries are not, and you find yourself just being, I don't want to say a victim. You just find yourself in circumstances that are beyond your control. When
Hard
so
time.
many people are one paycheck away from being on the street.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for sharing. So what did you do? Where did you live in that meantime? So, your
Oh,
experience.
in my car, or but mostly in the car. Maybe here or there. So I'm 60. I was 100 pounds heavier than I am now, and so it's not conducive to good spinal health. And plus I'm osteoarthritic hip, and so it's very difficult. Physically difficult, emotionally difficult, mentally difficult. Any difficulty level was impacted, but if it hadn't been for WISEPlace, I shudder to even imagine. I don't even want to think about it, because, I mean, when I found out that the one room had one bed, I knew that my God was for real. I mean, because when I got in there, people were being put on waiting lists,
Mhm.
upstairs and downstairs. So, you
Yeah,
know,
it's tough. It's tough, and that's why we have visions to kind of expand in the future, because there are so many women, vulnerable women, facing adversity, and we don't want them to face adversity alone. Like yourself, you don't deserve to live in a car, but Annie, and I'm sure you know this, but you're not alone in that. So many women, before they come to WISEPlace, their shelter has been their car. Um,
mhm.
and you're not
I've
you're
met them and talked with them personally. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Yes.
So you, from living in your car, you come to WISEPlace, and so tell me about, what was your first day or first week like? What did you feel at WISEPlace?
Relief was the biggest thing, that I had somewhere safe. My husband didn't know where I was at. Um, just really the biggest thing was safety. Safety, and then you fed us and you gave us toiletries. I didn't have any money for toiletries.
Yeah.
And with my income, I have a menial pension because of the amount of time of service as a teacher, and my income only covers my overhead pretty much. I couldn't even really afford a room rental, really. I mean,
Right.
it's only because of what I was paying there that I was able to pay my bills on time, so
Hmm.
that my financial status at least could be protected, if nothing else, till I could do better. Like my sister-in-law said, Annie, nobody nobody should stay in an abusive marriage to try to keep a marriage so the family can say that there's a marriage in the family, because that was the underlying current of so much divorce in my family. So, yeah.
It's powerful. So talk to me about that, because we're talking about, emotional support, psychological support. So, one of our keys today supports the case management, supports the clinical counseling to really unpack kind of all that learned trauma that you're talking about, and kind of develop strategies to apply in your life that work for you. So can you talk to me about your case management and how that was to set goals and achieve them and celebrate successes? Just talk to me about that, because I hear in what you're saying it was such an important part of your journey to kind of work on the trauma.
Mm-hmm. When I got to WISEPlace, my Medicare, because I just been awarded Medicare, I guess about a year. So with me being homeless, I didn't get my Medicare bills, which resulted in, by the time I got to WISEPlace, that I was terminated. And it actually took me over a year of battling with the Social Security Administration for my Medicare to get in place, reinstated. So I'm already diagnosed with bipolar disorder, age 28. I know and have to keep my psychological maintenance, emotional, mental maintenance. And if it hadn't been for WISEPlace providing that for me for free, because I had no income. I mean, I had no medical coverage. And I'm on medication. I have to have my medication. The services that I was given, the therapy that I was given there, my therapist was very good, very knowledgeable, and where her knowledge did, she had professionals that she conferred with. If I had an issue that she wasn't aware of, she researched for me, and by the time we met again, she gave me some tangible tools, books or whatever. I was aligned with so many agencies here. I learned about what this whole thing is all about, all the abuse, the cycles. I took an empowerment, personal empowerment class through one of the agencies that you all align me with. And it's something that every person, but every woman especially, needs, because here I'm 60 years old, but I was learning at every class. I mean, I'm educated. I have my bachelor's degree. I have 5 years to get my teaching credential. I have a year and a half of graduate study. So it's not like I'm uninformed and uneducated, but even with what was presented to me, because of them knowing the foundation that's necessary, I learned at every meeting. I learned about other agencies. I just learned, from cybersecurity. I mean, that particular program was 10, and just to have the case manager help me stay focused, because when I got to WISEPlace, when you're thrown out on the street, I was driving through the street the next morning in tears. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't have any money. Until you're in that, you have no idea what it's like. And then at 60, you're not expecting at 60 in your golden years to be homeless, after you have had 20 years of service, serving children and adults and everybody. But I couldn't have made it without everything. I was given, you all had an affected tooth extracted for me. I got my hair trimmed. So many things that we take for granted that I would normally have to pay for, that I didn't have money to pay for. When I needed my hair trimmed, there was an organization that came in, a beauty salon, to volunteer, cut our hair. And then the lady who was the owner told me that she would color my hair, and she would color it for free. I've been toting around, at least before I was thrust into homelessness, I had my dye kit, right? And I've been holding on to it. She said, come on, and I will do it. I got glasses. There was an organization that came in and provided eye exams and free glasses. I could pick out my own frames. This is the type of life that I'm used to living anyway, but it was still afforded me that, though I was with those circumstances. It was just totally amazing. When I say that everybody come in contact with. I'm telling about WISEPlace and telling them, because you don't plan to be homeless. You don't know if your spouse is going to die. You just, one lady, I mean, she made six figures in just circumstances. She had to deplete her savings because she took care of her mother that was struggling with cancer and ended up dying. And then the place where she was living, I forgot what happened, but she couldn't live there anymore. Then she couldn't afford the rents that were in the area. I mean, you just don't know the circumstances that can result in homelessness at the blink of an eye. I mean, when I left that morning, I didn't know that night I was going to be homeless. I didn't take no clothes with me. I mean, I didn't have no clothes, so, I mean, and my husband, I had just seen him just within a matter of hours before I went home. He didn't even tell me that he had changed a lot. So he waited for me to come home. And then I found out he changed a lot when I was escorted by police to get up into my house, my place of dwelling. So people have problems, sometimes they choose not to deal with them. And so then that causes other people to be victims of their decisions and their decision not to get themselves the help that they need, emotional and mental health.
Annie, you are a survivor, and the more that I listen to you talk, the more I am reminded of that. And I hope that you know that, and you know that we are always, right by your side. Annie, you are in what we at WISEPlace call PS House. So you were at first in our main transitional shelter. And for those that don't know, we have an additional program offsite that we call Positive Step House, PS House. And so you're there now. So talk to me about the transition for you. What was that like? What are you up to at PS House?
Child, I got it going on. I can wash my clothes whenever I want to. I can eat. I can have all the food I want in the refrigerator, in the cupboard. Do you know what I'm saying? No, okay. Man, first of all, I'm honored because it was even extended to me. And it was extended to me because I was to a place, because I had to stop working. I could not work emotionally and mentally. I could not work. But when I look at my overhead and my income, when I saw it on paper, when my case manager helped me to see it on paper, it's like, I need a job. So she helped me create a resume, empowered me with bitter tools, because it had been a long time since I had been interviewing. And so because of the history of what you guys saw me do at WISEPlace, you all extended to me to come here ahead of me actually securing the position that I had been applying for, which was for me an honor, because it's, I just thank God that you all have the foresight and the heart of compassion to know that sometimes guidelines need to be adjusted a little bit,
You've been adjusting, Annie.
No, ooh, Lord Jesus, yeah, because actually I had a room rental while I was at WISEPlace, and you all were so gracious and had the funding to be able to help me with the move-in cost. And the property owner, just before I was about to move in, had an emergency and had to go to another state to help her daughter. And in going there, her daughter had 2 disabled children. When she came back, she told me, I have to go help my daughter. I have to relocate and sell my house. I had to check. It took me a week to recover from that, because it was almost 8 months. I mean, well, it was 6 months at that point. But all that you have to go through to find a place that you can afford, find a place that's safe, to live in, and so much to be considered. And then I can breathe, I can exhale. And then I got the check in hand because you guys provided it for me. And then I can't move into it. That was almost devastating. And so then it's like, well, it took me a week to get that momentum, because I was on such a momentum. Then I had to start it again. It was like, okay, here I go again. It's just so much that goes into that emotionally and mentally, And then so I was looking again, and then you extended this to me because I'd applied for a position with 211. I was applying here, I was applying there. So because you know that I'm proactive, because you know that I follow your instructions, because you know that I'm teachable, you extended me that opportunity. And so I'm here, and what was such a gift to me is that all the women except one, I already knew. I knew them all from WISEPlace. I had an interface with all of them. I had a rapport with all of them already. So it wasn't like I was just plopped into a very foreign environment. And then the house is so lovingly decorated, and the neighborhood is beautiful. You love coming home, driving down the street. And you know that you don't have to stay in your car. You know that you just, I just can't explain it. It's just a gift from God. You guys are a gift from God. The agency is a gift from God. The donors are a gift from God. The people that come in to volunteer. I mean, it was so many levels that people come in to volunteer. They come in, they bring food, they serve it to us out of love. It's all in their face.
That's so true. We just love the volunteers, and, obviously talk about adapting and adjusting. Since COVID-19, obviously we've had all of our volunteers be remote, but when they do contactless drop-offs, I mean, you see it, even though everyone's covered in masks. I mean, the eyes are so telling, and the volunteers have just done so much and continue to do so much for WISEPlace, and we're so incredibly thankful. But, thank you, Annie, because really it is your resilience, the fact that you are, taking advantage of everything that's offered, right? You're coming to the workshops, you're going to see the case manager, you're doing the counseling, you are doing the hard work. So thank you for saying thank you to WISEPlace, but really we want to thank you because you are engaging in all of the wraparound services. And, it's hard because I had kind of forgotten that you had that setback, right? That you had an apartment and you went through the budgeting and the savings, and then the permanent home that you had identified for the reasons that you described was no longer an option. You are at, our WISEPlace PS house, and you are rebuilding. And it's, I really applaud you for doing that, because to do that during COVID-19 is not hard, but you are engaging in all the services, and it is just a matter of time. It is just a matter of time before you do go into your permanent home.
Yeah, I'm optimistic about it.
Yeah.
And being with all the services that you all provided and the safety there allowed me to maintain my optimism, because if I didn't have all the support, I don't think that I would have been as optimistic and hopeful. I mean, even when you walk down the corridor from my room just down to the kitchen, I mean, there's so many positive statements that I've passed by on the wall. Many sobbing spells have the administrators sat and supported me through, because this was devastating. You don't think that's what's going to happen when you're 60 years old, after you've gone through all you've gone through to get to where you've gotten, even though there's been a lot of other trauma in my life. But you keep it pushing. But
and you're keeping it pushing, you're saving money.
Yes.
And the significance of what you mention is kind of our first key, if you will. It's our silver key, because so many people we sometimes we forget what it's like your first month into your own home, that even though you're working and you're saving or whatever your circumstances, that your first month you have to put down a down payment. You're going through credit.
Don't remind me, Mama B. Don't remind me of that. I want to keep my money in the bank where it is right now, so I can see it on the statement. I want to see it on the statement.
I love that. Check your statements, Annie.
Yeah.
You're not alone. I guess that's what I want to make sure that that you remember, that we help, the significance of helping support a woman like Annie with her deposit, with her application fees, with some furnishings like a bed, a table, a refrigerator. We have so many great supporters who help put together welcome home baskets as well. But really, the financial burden of the first month comes in those application fees, in the moving costs, in the down payment. Usually you have to put first month's and last month's down payment. So in addition to your rent. So you keep checking that bank statement, because WISEPlace and our supporters, we're so proud. This is kind of a new initiative for us. We've been doing it for almost 2 years now, where we can consistently support a woman transitioning into her permanent home with application fees, with first month's rent, with deposits, everything, furnishings, all the things that make that first month move so overwhelming, even when you're saving and checking your bank statements like Annie's doing.
Because, like you said, if I would have moved into my own place, I probably could have maybe afforded to buy a mattress. I wouldn't have been able to buy a refrigerator or stove, probably, if it didn't come with the place, and I probably wouldn't have had money to buy furniture. So coming to PS House, it's fully, it's just, it's beautiful, and everything is here. Everything is here, and oh my God, when we had our graduation, when I tell you that the agency, the organization that gave us our moving gifts, when I tell you that they didn't leave anything unturned. They gave me a can opener.
We got you.
If I moved into my own place, I wouldn't have even had to buy anything basic. Dishes, pots, bedding. I cried. I think I cried for, I don't even know how long I cried, but it's like, who does that? WISEPlace.
WISEPlace family does. Truly, Annie, you hit the nail on the head. Like, our WISEPlace family of volunteers, and which includes, of course, our board of directors, just the community. It was so overwhelming in those first several weeks of COVID-19, and it truly was the grace and the open heart of my phone and email ringing off the hook, and people saying, what do you need? Because we know you all are, essentially first responders. You are stepping up for the community, and what do you need? And that was a part of it. And so, I love that you loved your welcome home gift. We make sure.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, let me tell you this. They had everything covered down to foil and plastic wrap.
Yeah. So we give
them. That's not itemized.
Yeah. So we ask, like, in participant feedback and lived in experience is so important to me, and so important to making sure that always stays at WISEPlace. So we would ask our alumni and our graduates, what did you need? What do you need? And so we made a really long list, and the volunteers have stepped up, and big shout out to the assistance leave of Orange in particular.
Ooh, hallelujah.
But all of our volunteers who shop off our wish list and make sure that while ladies are at WISEPlace, whether it's at our main shelter or our PS house, but also when they go to their own home. And so we're excited to do that again, Annie, because you are deserving of a permanent home. We, of course, are here for you. So we're going to kind of wrap up, but tell me, just leave us with, what does being at WISEPlace mean to you?
It means that I have a creator who loves me, because everything I needed was provided through you all. Whatever wasn't offered directly through you, I was aligned by the creator through you to everything I needed in the community. And so it's given me a sensitivity, and not that I embrace adversity, but and adversity is where you really develop. It's when you really learn. It's when you're really molded. It's when you really learn how to be grateful.
Mm-hmm.
How to be grateful. And to be able to give hope to my sisters and people that I may encounter on the streets or wherever. They just, hold on, here's an agency to call, or I know about this class, or I know about something that can help you if I go through it, so that I can help somebody else. That's what keeps me going, because I'm not living just for me. And so it's helped me to develop my life's work. I want to do this. I'm getting ready to be a peer support specialist to to other of my peers that are living to overcome a mental health condition, and they're going into the mental health field so that we can help others that have mental health issues. It's all about working together on this planet, to make the planet better. So.
Yanni, thank you so much. I know that our volunteers and supporters and community that we serve, the WISEPlace family, we are all cheering you on. You are an incredibly special, smart, kind, driven, beautiful human being, and we just have the honor to walk alongside you. So thank you so much for opening up your heart and talking a little bit. I know it's hard to not be in the same room and be behind these computers, but we are still connected, and we are incredibly proud of you. And this is just a new beginning, and we are excited to see your journey continue to grow, and we are all here for you.
Thank you. I know, and I need a hug, so you got to give me an air hug before.
I don't. Do you feel it? Do you feel?
Yes. Ooh, I couldn't have made it without the hugs you gave me over those months I was there.
I miss those hugs. I miss those hugs. You got the best hugs. Annie, have a beautiful rest of your day. Keep looking at those bank statements and saving that money.
Heck yeah, girl.
We're here for it. We're here for it.
Yeah, thank you.
Annie. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Mama B.
Later.
Bye.